Okay guys, so I'm currently using the microphone that is on, like it comes with my laptop, so the video is probably going to pick up absolutely every single sound in the house, which means you're going to be hearing a lot of stuff besides my voice, and I really apologize for that, but my microphone hasn't really arrived yet, so sorry about that. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys how to kind of like edit your traditional drawings, make them look a little bit better, kind of less choppy. Not choppy's not the word that I want to look for, but something like that. So yeah. Alright, so while this is happening, I know for a fact that I go in and I type out the website. I just kind of want to give you a little bit of information about pixelart.com. Pixelart is, well, it's kind of like an imitation of Photoshop and picture editing software like that. And it's completely free. You can make an account, you can save pictures and files inside of that account, so you don't really take up space from your computer. You can access those files. It's a really good website. I've been using it for a couple years now, and I always use it to edit my pictures, my traditional drawings, to make them look a little bit better for when I need to print them or post them on websites so that they look less bad quality, I guess. Up until today, I've been using my phone for the camera, and that's why I started using Pixelart to edit the photos a bit, because my phone's camera is not really the best camera. Yeah, so I logged out so that I could show you guys that you can kind of sign up here, put your name, email, password, pretty basic stuff, and then yeah, that's really all you need for this website. It's a really good website. I really recommend it. It's not as good as Photoshop, but for simple things like this, it kind of gets the job done. So I kind of scrambled a little bit at the beginning of this video because I remembered that I wanted to show you guys the features, which is like open image from library, from URL, open from computer, or create a new image. These options are pretty cool. It's the first thing you see when you pop up if you already have an account. The open image from URL I find very useful when I need to add logos and stuff to images that I'm creating. You can also create new layers from the same options, and these same options come up in the file. I just wanted to show you how it looks when you first go into the website if you already have an account. So I had actually previously already done this image, and I can tell now that I made a mistake and I forgot to edit something. But I went back and I redid it for this video because I asked if anyone wanted it, and I believe someone messaged me and someone commented. But anyway, first I cropped the image to get most of the background out of it, and then so that I can purely focus on the image that I am editing, and then I rotate it, in this case counterclockwise. Then I just go in and I crop again to the most of my ability, like what I feel will work out. I was gonna crop again, but I specifically made this to show you guys how to edit out those corners. So I decided not to crop it again and instead leave it like that and teach you how to edit out those corners. Okay, so I'm going to show you your best friend for this. Your best friend for this is called the Clone Stamp tool. This is a pretty common tool in editing software like Photoshop and all that stuff. Probably a lot of people have seen it before, but I just wanted to show you how I use it. And if you click anywhere else, it'll show you the instructions, like how you need to control click on a certain area in order to clone that. And I believe if you're on a Mac, I've never tried this website on a Mac, but it would be command click if you were on a Mac. But disclaimer, I'm not entirely sure if it works on a Mac because I've never owned a Mac, so I really apologize. If anyone knows, please comment somewhere and let me know. Alright, so the first thing I do is I zoom in because I want to make sure that I am very precise in my details, and then I will control click the area that I want to clone. I usually use the size 101, and then I will just leave my mouse pressed down and just slide down, and as you can see, everything on the sides is going to clone. I do undo and I go back because I unpressed the mouse by mistake, and I just kind of wanted to fix that for a bit. So then I go on to the other side and I do the same exact thing. It's a fairly simple process, except for certain areas that need a little bit more attention, and I'll show you about those in a second. Like right here, I click and I clone that little mountain-ish shape specifically so that it blends in perfectly with the image. And I'll clone the plant so that I can keep extending it so it doesn't look like it just randomly cut off. So just little areas that I specifically clone. And I'll just keep doing this and playing around. If I see something looks a little too repetitive, then I will undo and I will go back and clone a different section of the drawing. Okay, so here are the areas that I was talking about earlier that need a little bit extra attention. And now, the ground has a specific pattern, so I really try to mimic the pattern on the ground so that it blends seamlessly into the drawing and it doesn't look like I edited. Of course, here I go in making sure that the ground reaches all the way up. I'll clone some of the plant's colors. Sometimes I need to minimize the size of my brush and go in and make smaller details. Extend the plant again, you know, keep working around and just trying my best to make sure that everything blends in right. Here I go again with the sides of the drawing. I'll go back and use the color of the plant to fix what I erased by mistake. You know, just little details here and there. Now, the next step is to adjust the color levels of your art so that they actually look like the colors that they are in person. They don't look so dull. So I like to use brightness and contrast for that. It really amplifies the colors. It's very good for adjusting the colors. Sometimes though, you can go a little overboard, so you need to be careful. So here I am. I'll also sometimes use the hue and saturation option. Saturation just makes the colors more vivid, and you can fix how bright or how intense the colors are. I know this is all sounding like the same, like I know saturation and brightness and contrast all sound the same, but honestly, once you go in there and you try it on your own, you'll be able to tell the difference between brightness and contrast and hue and saturation. Now, sometimes I'll notice that I accidentally make the edges look way too similar, or I'll make it look like a pattern or something. So I'll go in and I'll start trying to fix edges or things that I didn't smooth out. I'll try to fix how it looks, kind of make it look a little less weird in a sense. Like you can see here in the left corner, everything looks very different from how it looks on the right corner. So I'll go in and I'll start editing some things, and I'll start picking colors from here and there to kind of fix that in a way. And I'm gonna speed this part up a little bit because that's all that's gonna be happening for the next few minutes. I almost forgot about this step. Sometimes I'll go into the filter and use the sharpen tool to it kind of adds a little bit more texture, but I like the texture on my watercolor pieces because they just make it look even more like traditional work. And I think I undid a crop here somewhere and there was a little line under my piece. So be careful of that. Sometimes you'll undo a little bit too much. Okay, and this is what I was talking about where you can save images in a pixel art library. I keep my signature saved in here so that I can just add it onto any piece of work and kind of switch it around. That way I won't mess up the signature on the original piece and have to edit it out. I usually do mess up my signature, that's why I do this. It's also easier if I can kind of have the option to undo where I put my signature and kind of put it somewhere else. I don't know. I like having that option. I also like having the option to kind of just remove my signature and have it without the signature. Sometimes I like to use my pieces as wallpaper or something. And this is really good for that. Okay, so going back to that option about saving it in the pixel art library, I like to save the image on my computer as a JPEG, and then I'll save the image as a pixel layered file in the pixel library. Another good thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that you can actually access this website from any computer. So if you save your images in the library, you'll be able to access them in other places, and you won't need to take a flash drive or something like that. And you can save them as JPEGs, PNGs, and there are a couple other files that I really don't remember right now, but if you go in and check them out, you'll be able to see those. So yeah, there you have it. That is how I edit my photos, my traditional drawings, to look a little bit better. And as you can see from having the entire background and the messy cut of the drawing and the line that was marked on the left corner side, see, everything looks a lot better in the after picture, and it looks a little bit more professional, more well done. And I hope this video kind of helped you in it, that the audio from my microphone wasn't horrible enough that you didn't want to watch the video and learn how to do it. Good luck, and I hope to make more videos soon.